Well, I'm absolutely delighted now to be joined by the APA's CEO, Dr. James Scully. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on our program today.
Certainly. It's good to be with you.
Now, Jay, it's been a great conference, isn't it?
I think so. I think we've gotten a great response from the registrants and participants in the Congress that they've been very pleased with the quality of the program. And certainly there's been lots of crowds in each of the sessions, so that's a good measure of how well we're doing.
And what are some of the issues that you've maybe dealt with this year and maybe not in other years that you think have been particularly resonant?
Well, I think our military track this year has been unique, and that's as we've all come to understand the psychiatric consequences of a long war in Iraq and Afghanistan, and the needs of the returning veterans and their families, that our members who are involved with that and want to become involved with that have been interested in attending those sessions. And secondly, of course, our diagnostic manual is getting ready for publication next year, but there's great interest in what's being proposed. So that track has also been different this year and than our usual years, but everybody's always interested in what the latest clinical and research findings are. So it's been an exceptionally good conference.
Looking at the profession slightly wider, if we could, I mean, a couple of the issues that people have talked to us about this year, one of them is the importance of being able to recruit younger doctors into psychiatry. Is that an issue that you at the APA are grappling with?
Well, we're very interested, and we're concerned there's been a little fall off in recruitment this past year. We've done pretty well, so we'll monitor that. But it's such a great field, and there's such a great shortage, and we need help. And it's a very exciting and good profession to be in. So we are, in fact, doing recruitment efforts, and we have a special medical student section of our association. So we're reaching out to students all over the country.
And obviously another issue that people stop us about and talk to us about is funding, the importance of funding in 2012. How important an issue is funding overall?
Funding for services?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a grave concern, of course, because of the economy, and we've seen proposed cuts both in our graduate medical education budget as well as the concerns in what the Medicaid program. The states are broke essentially, and yet the need is so great. So the economy has had an impact. And then, of course, healthcare reform and what's going to happen, what the Supreme Court's going to do this summer, and what the consequences of that may be. But we have to have reform in one way or another, whichever party it gets involved with it, and funding adequately for those suffering from psychiatric disorders is critical. And we had the parity legislation passed in 2008 after 12 long years of lobbying and a coalition building, and it's still not implemented. And so that task goes forward. We spend a fair amount of our time and effort at headquarters and trying to get the states and the insurance companies to implement the law.
The topic of this year's conference being integrated care, it's really important, isn't it, that psychiatry takes its place along with other fields of medicine?
Yes, in a sense, a simple-minded way of saying there's no health without mental health, and we know that in our friends in primary care and in the general medical community, the enormous burden of undiagnosed and untreated mental illness, we want to be part of that, and new models for cooperating and working with our colleagues in primary care are being piloted around the country, and this is very important to our future.
Well, Jay, thank you ever so much indeed for taking the time to talk to us today.
Well, thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Great to talk to you.